On Friday night, journalist Matt Taibi tweeted a thread about the Twitter's handling or mishandling of the Hunter Biden story. And right-wingers went absolutely wild. Oh, we knew it. Twitter taking orders from the Biden regime. Censorship. It's the government. First Amendment. That's what they're doing. They're crushing conservatives. Except that it wasn't the Biden administration. Donald Trump was still president at the time. The election hadn't even happened yet. Twitter had been consistently asked by both campaigns to remove certain tweets, and the ones in question, of course, involved pornographic pictures of Hunter Biden. That said, Taibi did reveal one thing, and that's Twitter, that Twitter and these, by the way, not just Twitter, but Facebook, all these different companies, they then tend to favor wealthy, influential people and actors. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, big surprise. Big surprise. And we knew that before. How is that a new thing? And look, by the way, they do remove and did remove content and accounts that they shouldn't have. Not on the orders of any government official, but in an effort, I think, to try to play it safe. Again, they had been talked to about, hey, be careful. There's, disinformation campaigns. There's, Russian bots and trolls. And we really don't want to, get in any hot water and loot advertisers or anything like that because we helped a fascist get reelected. So I get that. They played it safe. They're a big corporation. They care all about money. And that's what this decision was about. It was about money. It was about trying to keep advertisers and not to get blamed because, again, one thing that the Clinton administration, but the Clinton campaign had done after they had lost in 2016 to Donald Trump was blame everyone. They blame the Russians. They blame Bernie Sanders. They blame progressives. They blame young people. They did everything except for blame what was really at fault here, and that's just running a bad campaign against a monster. I mean, as simple as that. And so, these social media companies got swept up in that. And they didn't want to lose advertisers. They didn't want to lose, get in trouble with those advertisers, lose money by being called into Congress to be like, hey, what's going on? We hear that you, allowed Russian bots to make Hillary lose. But anyway, that is messed up. And by the way, Twitter itself did do censorship, and that was wrong. I think we can all agree on that. But that's not what many in the right are actually saying. So let's get to some responses here. Let's go to podcaster Buck Sexton. Oh boy. And again, one of the biggest surprises here is having somebody named Buck Sexton. Here's what he said. So we approve Biden's White House engaged in bright red line violations of the First Amendment to suppress disfavored speech, especially as it related to their election prospects. This is a massive scandal, and Biden should be rightly impeached for it. Yeah, impeach Biden.
Peachtree dish.
Impeach. Really? Well, okay, hold on. You want Biden, the Biden administration, impeached for something that happened before he was president. That doesn't make any sense, guys. Not even for you. Not even for the right wing. Do they understand how time works? Biden wasn't president during the time that this had happened. It was literally before an election. But then he followed up with this because, people called him out. And so he responded, for all the, but he wasn't president in 2020. Yeah, which completely defeats your argument. Guess what? Biden's team continued while they were in the White House to push Twitter to shadow ban, cancel, etc. while in office. See Alex Berenson for just one example. Pathetic. The libs are cheats and frauds. Deal with it. Yeah, how about no? How about you're a moron?
You idiot.
No. Okay. Look, the entire charge here is this. That Biden did this to influence an election. Well, if he had already won, which he did, then how's he influencing the election? Again, that's responding to Buck Sexton's follow-up argument that already proved him wrong. How can you influence an election that you already won? By shadow banning conservatives. Pushing Twitter. By the way, pushing just means having a conversation with executives in Twitter and being like, hey, I'd really like it if you take this down. I mean, we're not in favor of this. Now Twitter could straight up just go, no, we don't feel like taking it down. We believe in free speech. And you could do that, but Elon Musk could do that today. There's no violation of the First Amendment when the government just asks you to do something and you can tell them to F off. Once you cannot tell the government to F off because they come in with guns and troops and whatever, start arresting you, that's when there's a free speech violation. So what Biden is doing is what all campaigns have done, including the Trump administration, reaching out to private social media companies to request they remove things that don't look favorable to them. Do I like it? No. But do they all do it? Yes. So that said, Buck has a lot of feelings, not a lot of facts, not a lot of evidence. In fact, no evidence. So he deleted that tweet, by the way, that I showed you and replaced it with free speech principles instead of the First Amendment because there was no violation of the First Amendment. He knows that he was wrong. But it gets more unhinged. See, Buck Sexton, very mild, calling for the impeachment of the president for doing something allegedly that happened when he was the president. That's mild for conservatives these days. No, now we have Republican congressional candidate Shukri Abdurrahman, who, by the way, is had competed against Ilhan Omar. She instead called for violent armed revolution. Here's what she said. We can no longer get rid of tyranny by the ballots. It's only by bullets now. Jesus Christ, girl. Going a little hard, are you? She continued. I'm done. I regret that I put my life in the line to defend these Nazis and that so many of my brothers and sisters in arms died for. Two pillars of a successful republic are election integrity and confidence in our democratic processes. We have neither. You have neither. Again, it's not the left that doesn't believe in democracy. It's a lot of right-wingers that are not believing in our democratic processes because they think they see fraud everywhere. I see voter fraud over there. No, that's just somebody voting. But what about over there? No, that's somebody dropping off ballots in a drop box. Okay, but what about over there? That's just a black person voting. Come on, dude. Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay. Then Abdurrahman added, quote, this is treason and the real insurrection. Jesus Christ. More. This wasn't by Russia. It's done by our own effing government. Oh, it wasn't. Joe Biden wasn't even president at the time. And by the way, I guess you could make the point. Who was president? Oh, right, Trump. And Trump, his campaign had asked for Twitter to remove tweets. That comes from the Twitter files themselves. Nobody seems to remember that. And then finally, of course, we're going to add, she's going to add, just so you know, at Hillary Clinton, Elon Musk is not suicidal.
You idiot.
I'm telling you. What? Okay. All right. Anyway, there are other reactions. And by the way, these reactions are actually not unhinged. So I give you all the insane stuff to then kind of dial it back a little bit. Let me go here to Miranda Devine, Devine. She was talking with Tucker Carlson on Friday, and here's what she said. Quote, look, I think we've seen quite a bit that's useful. All right. It's not really the smoking gun we'd hoped for. But I feel that Elon Musk has held back some material. Well, bring it forward. Let's do it. Bring it forward. Bring it forward. Let's see more of it. But that's not the only person that is kind of poo-pooed a little let down by the lack of a smoking gun. Here's Fox and Friends' Will Cain.
As much as we have seen from what Elon has released about the coordination between the government and Twitter, there isn't necessarily a smoking gun yet when it comes to your case, Hunter Biden. In other words, we don't have the government official saying, spike that. Do you think that probably exists? Do you expect that somewhere and is yet to be seen? We see a Twitter that's ready and willing to do what the government wants, or in this case, the DNC. There's actually the DNC at this time, so the Democratic Party. But we haven't yet seen who made the call and who put it in their mind.
Well, I believe Zuckerberg described at least the FBI and Facebook's interaction as predominantly in person or over the phone.
Right.
I think the FBI is smart enough not to create a paper trail when it comes to affecting the course of an election.
So that was, by the way, John Paul Mac Isaac, who is the computer guy. You're bringing the computer guy on to do a political analysis about the FBI and this investigation into the why? Look, John Paul Mac Isaac probably knows a lot about computers. Why are you asking him about politics? Why are you asking him to do analysis? What is going on here? Now look, but basically, they ain't got no evidence. They ain't got no smoking gun. It don't exist. Okay. So look, did Twitter do bias? Sure, I guess maybe. You could argue that bias is now, Twitter is massively biased now in favor of conservatives. But you could make a little bit of an argument, I guess, that the people working there were biased towards people who are more liberal. Okay, that's what happens. What's funny is that conservatives tend to look at political donations. And again, that's one of the things that Matt Taibi had shared in his thread as well is, oh, well, look, Twitter employees are biased because look at all the donations from Twitter employees to Democrats. All right. Hey, I guess you could make a little bit of a case there that yes, the employees are biased. But does the right tend to talk about how, or I should say talk about political donations to right-wingers in the same way? How is that not corruption when they do it, but it's only corruption when, the people who are biased towards liberals in these Silicon Valley tech companies? Why does it not apply to everyone equally? I'm just kind of curious how they tend to ignore that. It's very interesting. But again, what we're coming down to here is a private corporation. That's what Twitter is. Facebook's a private corporation. They can have whatever bias they want. Again, you don't have free speech on these platforms. You sign a terms of service, and if you violate those terms of service, or at any time, by the way, the terms of services, we can ban you for whatever reason we want. We don't care.